Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Houston Sean Podcast, episode 31. It's been a little while since we last saw you, and we are glad to bring you this episode.
And I want to say it's been a long time, and the last time we did this, Sean did not have a beard, and
It's
he
true.
talked differently, he sat differently, and his whole demeanor has changed.
It's true. Law school has started, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a brief break through my weekend of work. I've basically been sitting here doing law school stuff for the last, I don't know, 30 hours in a row. So you might see me a little insane.
Yeah, so Sean is in law school. He grew a beard. Everything's different. His background is different. He's got a fish tank, which I don't think you had last time we did a podcast.
It's true. Let, let's show the ladies and gentlemen our my fish tank.
Do whatever you want.
Okay, hold on a second.
Now, this is where the podcast is going to break. This is where it happens.
Yeah,
It's where
exactly.
Sean presses a button and it's off.
All right. So here's my fish tank, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I got this fish tank because if you got a 10-gallon tank or less in the apartment, they didn't charge you for the pet fee. So I guess you could sneak pets in like Ace Ventura, but I decided to respect the folks and just get the 10-gallon tank. It's the first time I've ever done this. So, uh, I guess I'll start with the fish. I have 15 fish of four varieties. I have six cardinal fish. They are the little blue fish that are in the school. They just are tiny little ones. They're called cardinals. These ones are called platies. They look a little bit different from each other, and I think that's kind of cool. Like this guy with the black stripe. I mean, he is totally unique. I mean, he looks like the other platies, but he just has unique coloring. These guys are called Grammies, and they look exactly the same, all three of them.
And on the floor there is a stall because Sean is like scary fish tank guy.
I guess, yeah.
That's his response, I
I didn't want
guess.
to stop explaining my fish tank because of that remark, but
Well, where are the
no, like
snails?
my ex-wife gave me that skull because like she tried to have a fish tank too, but all her fish died
Oh,
because fish are very sensitive. But
yeah.
once you put them in the right environment, they do seem to just sort of like do their thing, and if they're in the right environment, they'll survive.
What's the snail situation?
The snail situation is I got one snail who rarely ever shows herself, but she does reproduce asexually, and
Yeah.
so there's like hundreds of these little snails going on now in my fish tank. And I
Sean
think
texted
maybe
me and told me you told me that that the fish guy told you they reproduce asexually, and I thought he was lying. I thought not
no.
Sean. I thought the fish tank guy was lying to Sean. I was like,
Yeah.
no, the guy's lying, Sean. But he showed me evidence and said, yeah, that indeed snails multiply, which is news to me and probably news to the rest of America.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see, but there's only a few animals in here that I've named, one of which is the frog. Can you see the frog, Houston? He's
I
like right
can't.
there. Can you see him?
I can't. I see a leaf. Is he
Ah,
like
he's like
on the
right
leaf?
above he's above the leaf.
I
He's above the leaf in the plant.
uh oh yeah. Now I see him.
Okay, anyway, his name is Houston Frog. I
That's
gave
my
him,
name.
yeah, I named him after you.
So yeah, it's a living fish tank. It's a living organism, a whole community in there.
It's true. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's an ecosystem. Sort of everybody has a job. Uh, one of which is I have a sucker fish somewhere, but he's extremely aggressive, doesn't like anybody, but he just like, cleans the algae.
Is he the one that like stays on the glass and just sucks the glass?
Yeah,
Those are always my
often.
favorites when I was a kid.
He does that. Yeah, he's really mean to everybody too. It's funny.
That's because he sucks.
Yeah,
Get
I
it?
guess. Exactly.
Literally, he sucks. Do you get it?
I get it. So that's the fish tank, yeah. It's sort of nice, I have to spend a lot of lonely hours studying, so to have a fish tank is kind of nice. I don't know.
So how's studying going?
Oh, it's hard, man. It's a lot of work.
I just read a biography on Bill Gates that I just finished. He started Microsoft when he was like 19 and he was going to Harvard and he was taking classes in Harvard. He was doing coding, computer coding, which takes forever and it's boring as shit. And he was doing all of that and while running a traffic data thing. I mean, it was crazy. It's just crazy.
He also, I guess, did stuff in my town of Arden.
Yes, that in the book he mentions our hometown of Wilmington. He did a book report and the stuff about his childhood was boring. Like he was just like, and then I did a book report on Delaware. And when I did a book report on Delaware, I visited the town of, I talked about the town of Arden. And that was where I perked up. I was like, that's where Sean's from. And
Yeah.
so I sent a picture of it to Sean. And then there's like five more chapters of his childhood before he gets to how he got started in computers. But it was a good book. It was a good book.
I mean, Arden is all of a New York City block, if so
And
it's
it,
like a tiny little town. The fact that Gates mentioned it is
and
pretty.
it's historical, he said.
Mm. It
I don't
is
know. I think we've talked about Arden before in the podcast, but
historical because we were there.
yeah, that's what and Jack Falco, our friend Jack Falco lived there.
Yeah,
But
so when we were going to summer camp as kids, we wanted to score some pot to take to the summer camp and be the coolest kids. And so we paid Jack $30 and Jack just took our money and like didn't get us any pot and probably got himself some pot with it. And so the next day we go to get the pot
and
and
I
Jack's like,
I
okay,
wanted to
it's just
confront
stuff went.
Jack about it.
He
I
went.
wanted to
He
I
went.
wanted to beat him up, and we just didn't. We just weren't intimidating enough, I guess. But
He's like,
uh,
yeah, guys, stuff went down.
yeah, that's
So
what he told. He told Sean. He's like, some stuff went down, and I
it's
was
like,
mad. I was like, what do you mean? I was so excited for that weed to come.
and also it's like, well, could we get our money back? Nope. And honestly, I'm taking a class in contracts, and it sort of goes over why you set up a contract, and it's because of things like this. It's like people inherently are like, have self-interest, and
That's right. And law tells you that, and that's why whenever you're buying drugs, always make your drug dealer sign a contract, everybody.
yeah, I'm sure that would work. Or just do it at the same time. Like, here's the money, here's the, yeah. But anyway,
Can you imagine showing up to a courtroom back then and telling the judge, he didn't give us the pot.
yeah.
We gave
Actually,
him money.
there's cases like that where, like drug dealers want their money back. They feel like the state doesn't have a right to confiscate their money.
Well, I guess Sean and I live very far away from each other. In fact, we live as far away in America as you can possibly live.
It's
And
true.
um, we recently saw each other. What was that? A month ago, 2 months ago?
Mm.
And Sean
Yeah,
was
it was
coming
August.
to visit his parents, and we were going to hang out, and I didn't know what
Nope,
to
nope,
do.
nope.
No, you weren't there to see your parents. You were there to
No, I just wanted to
strictly,
see you.
yes. He came to see me specifically, and I did not know what to do. So in my head, I'm like, let's go to Atlantic City,
And
right?
yeah, I mean, and it was a good show. Atlantic City is like Vegas, except it is really, really like smaller and also very sketch at this point. Where
I,
apparently, like it used to be like where the Rat Pack would go
yeah.
along with Vegas. Now in Atlantic City, it just looks like a bunch of crackheads are walking around. It looks like a bunch of trash.
Yeah,
It's like where
it's a lot of homeless people and a lot of meth heads. And I didn't know that. I had been to Atlantic City recently to just to go to the beach, and I didn't hang out at Atlantic City. So
mm,
I was expecting like Vegas and like the streets were going to be filled with like all these players throwing their money around and
mm.
all these beautiful women and every time Sean and I walked around in Atlantic City, we thought we were lost in a bad neighborhood, but we weren't.
Yeah.
That was
It
Atlantic
wasn't
City.
it wasn't like it wasn't happening. There were a lot of people in the casinos, but
Yeah.
then you get outside, it's like, where did they go?
Yeah.
I
Everyone,
mean,
all the people were in the
all
casinos.
the regular people just like pops up in the casinos, but like to get to from one casino to the other, you just get crackheads. It's a very odd situation.
Yeah. And I've never gambled much. And as soon as we got to the first casino, Sean wins, what was it, like $180 or something, the first 5 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah, and because what happened was it was a slot machine, and basically I understood that if the Buddha like filled up his line, then it would repay me more than I spent. And I just imagine, and like the Buddha's line kept getting bigger. So I was like, okay, I can see if I keep dropping money into this machine, I will be repaid and some. And so that's what that was my attempt, and it did work.
It
Not
did
that the
work.
whole night was like the whole night wasn't successful for me, but we weren't really trying to do that anyway, you
No,
know.
I just wanted the experience. And I mean, we were there to like kind of party,
Yeah.
hopefully, and hopefully meet some chicks or
Yeah,
something.
of course. It's like the objective didn't change from when we were like in eighth grade.
Yeah.
Same objective.
So Sean and I, when we were kids, I mean, teenagers would go to the Concord Mall every weekend to try to pick up women or, you
Yeah.
know, and we were never successful. But we went to Atlantic City. I mean, we had a lot of fun, but we were there on like a Sunday. And apparently, from these two guys I randomly met on the street, they said that, yeah, Sunday's like the worst day to come to Atlantic City for parties and everything. But
Yeah.
there were people there.
But
Like,
even still, it was fine. Yeah, it was fine. Sunday was fine. I mean, people were on vacation. It worked out. I had a good time. I just mainly wanted to spend some time with you before school started.
Houston
Uh,
quality time. And I tried to talk Sean out of going to law school the whole time, but he doesn't remember that. I was like,
oh
not
my
going to work,
gosh.
Sean. You can't do
Uh,
it. You can't do it. And he's like,
Thanks.
and I'm like, no, you can't go to law school.
Oh.
That didn't happen. But
Yeah, I don't know. Like for like, my I'm 39 and I still do not have like a job. I at 38 I didn't have like a job I wanted to do. So I sort of had to reassess like, okay, all these other jobs like supply chain, construction, and banking. I didn't like them. Like, what could I do that I sort of like or had like some sort of interest in? I basically came to law because it does have like a lot of history in my family. If like, my dad was one, he went into law uh and then like my grandfather, my great grandfather, and those men actually were kind of success, like they were kind of famous. Like my great grandfather, who I have a picture of, and I'll show you. See that man right there?
he looks
That
just
his
like
name
you.
is, huh?
He looks a lot like you.
Yeah, I know. Well, kind of. He's a stud. Look at that. He's a stud. Arthur Garfield Hayes. He was a famous lawyer in the 40s. He has his own Wikipedia page. Um, he co-founded the American Civil Liberties Union, and all that stuff I had like downplayed the credit for. That's freaking amazing, to just like, for me to not care is like is and like I'm shaming my own person, like to not care that like my great grandfather co-founded the American Civil Liberties Union, and he also fought in these amazing cases. Like, there's a case called the Monkey Trials where, a lot of students still have to watch about this case in school, but he and his buddies like Clarence Darrow went to the town of like Virginia or wherever, and fought that evolution was appropriate to teach in public schools.
Oh, and oh yeah, I guess because of the religion thing, they weren't teaching evolution.
Yeah, so
And
that man that I showed you, Arthur Garfield Hayes, he was actually like kind of an atheist, uh, which is sort of odd because, most men are okay believing in some sort of higher power, but he did not want to. And I think part of it is because he was around during World War II and he was 100% Jewish. And so, like, all he saw from religion was just like massacre,
oh yeah,
and of his people. And I think,
which there's still a lot of religious massacres happening now.
exactly. Yeah, people use religion for all sorts of bad reasons, but even still, a man can, I think, still have spirituality without being bad. I mean, that's something that people do to it, but it's not necessarily like, I believe, a like it doesn't have to be that way. Religion doesn't have to be bad. Faith doesn't have, spirituality doesn't have to. But anyway, I mean, my great grandfather saw it as bad. And I don't know. I believe he had a lot of merit to think that, especially with what time he was living in. But plus, he was an incredible lawyer. I mean, so
And now Sean is going to be the next incredible lawyer.
no, I'm just gonna get a lawyer job in Boise, and it'll be fine, and I'll help people in Boise and live my life.
And I haven't done anything illegal in a long time, but I'm planning on it because
Yeah,
now I have a lawyer that I'll be able to call, even though he's going to be all the way in Boise.
if I had to represent you in court, that would be like a very fun experience.
I don't think we could do it. I don't think either we
Yeah,
could do
yeah.
it. You'd be like, and talking to Jen, you'd be like, "Hey, Houston, remember when we went to Concord Mall and you farted?" And I'd be in the chair like, "I remember that." And then
You're
Sean would
like,
be like, "Remember?" And the judge would be like, "Order, order, order." And I'd be like, "And remember that girl Marley?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, Marley was stupid."
you're like Beavis and Butthead in a
Yeah,
courtroom.
it'd
I'd
be
be
like
like,
Beavis and Butthead.
objection, and the judge would be like, he has not said anything. I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh,
The
well,
judge is like, I don't even
I
know what
thought
you
he
guys
said
are
something.
arguing for.
The other lawyer would be like, Your Honor, and I'd be like, objection.
Yeah. Yeah. It would just ruin your whole career, but it'll happen. I'm gonna do something illegal in the next few years. I just haven't decided what the best decision is. Probably a traffic citation or something along that matter. So we'll
I think,
discuss
yeah, whatever you feel with that.
that.
But Houston's projects online are going to cause trouble too in his future.
I
He's
think
he's
so.
getting millions of views on online, Instagram, millions of views on TikTok.
Well, people are already taking my videos and doing things with them, which I'm kind of like, what are the laws with that kind of thing? You know what I mean? Like I don't mind, but they're making their own edits and they're
Hmm.
taking snippets of my videos and putting them on their TikTok channel. And I'm like, huh, okay. So what's the law with this? And I realize, wow, I don't own any copyrights on anything that I do.
Well, that would be, I think, before you could, before you could try to, they're all just your fans anyway. But before you could try to sue them, you would have to at least like, have a copyrighted material.
Just I'm just gonna get the copyrights and sue all of my
They were
fans.
just trying to be fun, and you're just
I know, and I'm just like, what's the legal ramifications of this? How do I sue my fans?
they would like it. Your fans like that stuff. They're sort of masochistic with your material.
I thought about that and I'm like, yeah, I've never copyrighted anything. And I remember my friend Dave started a company when he was 16 called Double Edge Films.
Uh-huh.
And he was about to get it copyrighted. And he said, "Oh yeah, you can just go downtown to the courthouse and pay $100, and boom, you have a copyright." And I know you haven't graduated yet, so I'm not going to ask you a bunch of legal questions right now. But
I know you'd have to make them pretty specific.
Yeah. I'm not going to like quiz you on every single legal thing when like you just started, but
I can show you my well, keep going, but I do have a thing I want to show you.
I was done, I think.
With Dave's thing?
It wasn't really a story. It was like I
Are we
was
suing Dave?
yes, I want to sue Dave. There's a lot of things I could sue him for that I'm not going
You
to.
know, if you sued Dave, he would have like 100 pictures on Facebook of him going like this.
Yeah. I could sue him for throwing empty beer bottles in my yard.
That was so annoying that he did that. Here, let me show you this fun little it's my, TARDIS or thing. Okay. So like, I take great pride in my space. So I'm in my bathroom, okay? As you can see, just a regular bathroom. There's my TARDIS. Uh
You're
but
what?
yeah, so I made this porta potty of thought processing whiteboard thing. So I recently just erased it. You kind of got to, as you try to learn this stuff, you got to like erase and redo. But I can walk in it.
It's not cramped or anything.
And then, so this is my Civ Pro stuff. And then here behind me, I'm gonna put my tort stuff, and here I'll put my contract stuff. I
Well,
did, like I
this is
said, like,
the
huh?
advantage of doing it in this very cramped space is that as you're writing, you're going to be erasing stuff with your back.
I'll be like, dang it, I can't
Yes,
move.
you're going to have marker stains on your white t-shirts.
So yeah, that's that. Okay, and ladies and gentlemen, this is Eustace's father.
Oh
He
yeah, there it is.
Eustace gave me this. I take great pride in it. I could sell it for $2,000,
You
but I
could.
never will unless it's a matter of eating.
Well, if times get bad, you can always sell it. But yeah, that's we gave it to you actually after the Atlantic City trip.
Yeah. And I put this Idaho College of Law above my door so that when I get to school, I won't be distracted. So when I leave this room, I leave everything behind except my focus on the College of Law. And I will honestly say that it isn't working out that great so far with that thought. But
Are you doing any like college stuff, like dorm parties or anything?
not as much, because I'm like almost 40 and I'm a
I,
dad and stuff. But I did go out once and drink with the class, and that was fun. It was fun. I was out till like 2 a.m. Because I figured it was a once in a while type of a thing. So I ended up on a stripper pole in some like bar. Uh and I think my whole class was just like, well, this is now awkward. I was like, guys, I've had too many shots to care if this is awkward or not. But I think probably it was. It was awkward.
yeah, Sean sent me a picture of him dancing on a pole, and I was worried that like he'd run out of money and he was stripping for
Yeah.
work.
No, no, it's just like, it wasn't a strip club either. It was just a bar that had a strip pole.
Well,
And
if you're going to have a bar and you put a strip pole in it and you're not going to expect people to do that to it,
well,
that's what it's there
some of their
for.
customers that were like, I think validly good at stripping and or getting on a strip pole were doing that. And I was like, my turn.
Of course. Of course, Sean would do that.
But
My turn.
I've never been on one, so I just sort of spun around in a circle like this.
We're like women twerking on it and stuff.
Yeah, and guys and girls were doing it, but I I don't know. So that was that. That was only one night. I mean, most nights I'm just working. It's an extremely boring life right now, but and it will be for for a while.
Well, you have a goal that you're working towards.
Yeah, I've done it twice. I've done it twice before, but I've never really had a passion before. I think each one gets a little bit more passionate. Like I was,
Hold on one second.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna go get cheesesteak.
There's Dolly.
Yeah,
What's,
so
what's Dolly doing? How's Dolly doing?
she's getting a cheesesteak
Oh,
because
because you guys are right there where they sell cheesesteaks.
yeah, yeah, I was thinking of learning computer coding
That's cool.
because I read that Bill Gates book,
Yeah,
and
Bill
now I
Gates.
think I can do it.
Go for it.
Well, when I went to Delaware College of Art and Design, it took
Mhm.
me 20 years to graduate, but I did very well there. And one of the classes I took was HTML. You know what that is?
Yeah.
It's coding, basically.
Yeah, like early internet coding was that was like
Yeah.
the first coding for websites.
Yeah. And I don't know. I read the book and I just thought, why not try it just to learn a new skill?
Yeah.
I think I'll
Um,
probably give up on it very fast, but I want to try it.
maybe not. Maybe you'll get to be so good and you'll just be like typing like and then you you'll want to break for coffee, but you won't want to stop. So you'll be like,
So when Sean and I were in middle school, we both had a website and it was
uh-huh.
on Angel Fire.
It was.
Angel Fire was a website back in the day where any idiot could go on there and you barely had to know any HTML, but you could make your own website. And we had a company called Xmonks,
Yeah.
and we had like both made websites and we combined them.
Yeah.
And nobody except us ever saw the website. But yet I would update it constantly with like updates for the people reading it and like new advancements in like the future of the website. And nobody was looking at it except Sean and I.
Yeah.
But remember how crappy it looked? But it was so cool back then.
Yeah, it was cool that you could punch it in anywhere and go to your site,
Yeah, we had a
that
website.
wasn't the norm yet. But uh, I remember telling my cousin, like, oh, we have a company called Xmonks, and my AOL screen name is X Boy, and he said,
Yeah.
"Oh, does that mean you're a girl?" And I
Yeah.
said,
So Sean and I, we had a company called X Monks. And
it
I
was mostly
remember,
you. You created Xmonks.
did I? Okay, so I don't know
It was
where I got
your
the name.
baby.
I think I was butchering the name Xerox or something, and it sounded corporate to me, X Monks. But it was an entertainment company that was going to have a cruise ship and a perfume division or something.
Yeah.
After Sean joined X Monks, he added a lot more divisions. And but I remember one time one of my mom's friends was over and he was like, he looked at me and he went, I know what Xbox means. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, I know what it means. Naughty, naughty, like that. And to this day, I don't know what he thought it meant because it was just a gibberish name.
Yeah.
Like, but I guess it sounded like something dirty or something, like some hidden joke.
Or you
And
used to be a monk. I don't know. You used to be a monk.
X monks,
You used to be a monk.
EXMONX. It doesn't mean anything. It's
That's true.
and I have to ask him what he thought, but he probably does not remember.
I don't even remember that at all.
Yeah, he was like, "What? An X monks? What are you,
I'm trying to
goofy?"
think of a memory I have of you that you don't remember.
The thing about X monks is Sean and I split apart in the middle of high school
Hmm.
uh, because of parent interference or what I forget what it was.
Yeah.
We had to be away. But I still carried the X Monks name in all of my film projects. So it was actually a thing for a long time. And then I don't know when the name just died. But I think after high school, I was like, it's not X Monks anymore. And then the company folded.
Yeah.
It's sad, but we could always bring it back eventually.
I, I miss Xbox. I loved Xbox. It was like, it was like childhood thing. I mean, you had Lenny was your imaginary friend
Yeah.
and Xbox.
X Monks was,
Your
yeah.
cartoons always were really, really popular at school. It was great. You
Sean,
know,
I remember one time you commissioned me, but I don't think you paid me at all. You wanted me to make you a comic strip just strictly for you. And so every day I would draw this comic strip with like three boxes and I would give it to you. And you were like the only person reading it. And I remember being very excited, like, I have a customer,
yeah.
but you didn't pay me. So
I
yeah,
didn't pay
I
you.
used to draw comics and I used to draw these characters that were aliens called the Naglorps.
Yeah, the
And
Negorps. Yeah.
yeah, it was my big thing. It was like everyone in class would ask me to draw, hey, draw one of your Naglorps on my notepad. And I
Yeah.
remember one day,
I love the Negorps.
yeah, I used to draw them all the time. And then one day I retired them. And I remember thinking it was going to be the biggest deal in school.
Mm.
Houston's retiring from drawing the Naglorps. And I said,
Yeah.
I'm not drawing them anymore. I'm retiring them. And I did. And I made a big deal about it. And I
Yeah.
said, this is the last Naglorps comic. And I don't think anybody cared.
Yeah, the Negorps and Lenny. Well, you had a your comics have a very distinct look. I mean, my cartoons look very generic. Like anybody draws them. I like to when I was back then I liked to draw big muscular guys and it was very generic. But
Uh,
yours were I don't know, they were like distinctly you.
this is an
Yeah.
example of Sean's.
W killing you. Yeah, wow. That's
So
amazing.
Sean and I
That's
had a,
me. I drew that one.
yes, that's why I'm bringing it out
Yeah,
because
yeah. I forced like my cartoons on people because they weren't as good as yours. Where's his
W
sleeves? He
killing
doesn't have
you and
full shirt sleeves.
JHH. Sean was W killing you. I was JHH.
Yeah, that's our raps
Set
were
tape.
so there were no instrumentals. It was just freestyles.
No, Sean and I would just rap over no instrumentals, but occasionally we would play music and like talk over it. Like
Yeah.
we did like a Green Day thing where we're just screaming over a Green Day song. But is this backwards on your computer?
No, it's correct.
Okay, because on mine it's backwards. But
Yeah, look at that. That's
yeah,
so
we
cool.
made a booklet for this whole thing.
Wow. What
And
is wow.
there's a
You
part here.
have that. It's amazing.
I don't know if I should show this other part. Are we allowed to show drawings of boobs on here on
I don't
YouTube?
know. Yeah, it's fine.
Should I just show it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is the cringy part because and I don't know, like our company name was X Monks, so
Thanks, Mox. Oh my gosh.
Sex Monks, and then it says horny classified.
It's
I
is
think at
there
this
there's
point
not
you
an
and
E,
I
it's
had
spelled
like
wrong.
I don't think we'd even had girlfriends yet.
Well, and there's no E.
Oh, and the you spelled horny wrong.
I spelled horny wrong. There's no E. Oh my gosh.
And then there's
I
like
still
a
am not the best speller. Sometimes I have to look up, you know,
there's a
I
list
don't
of
know.
FUs. So we wrote down a list of people we didn't like back then. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah.
So Richard F.
Why? He's
I,
fine.
I don't know. He was like one of my closest friends at Centerville, even though I teased the hell out of him all the time.
Yeah, it's mean.
Richard was a cool kid. He was just a little bit nerdy.
Hmm.
Like I was some jock or something. Like I wasn't exactly like cool or anything. But I
Yeah.
would tease him all the time for being a nerd just because I thought that's what cool kids did. And
Yeah.
he would be like, "Get off my case."
Get off my
Um,
case, Richard.
Matt D, would that be Matt DeRocco?
Yeah.
What was our problem with him?
I feel like that's also unnecessary to have put that.
Yeah, these were students, our classmates. Okay, next we have Celine Dion. We didn't like her, probably because of Titanic. The football team, the Steelers. I think that's because they played the Dallas Cowboys back then in the Super
That's
Bowl.
so weird that we put the Steelers.
Yeah. Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio, actor. So I guess Sean and I were very vehemently against anything that had to do with Titanic back then.
I still I'm he redeemed himself, and now I'm
I
sort of like, eh.
I like him now. I mean, I think Hanson.
He's made
Uh,
so many good films, yeah.
he's done great films. I want to see that new one he's done. Bill Clinton, who was the president at the time, apparently we were against him. Um, Hootie and the Blowfish. We're also running out of time on this thing because I think we've got 2.5 more minutes.
Oh my gosh. All
Yeah,
right.
because I forgot to upgrade, I think. But anyway, this is a
Our
perfect way to end it.
subscription, our subscription is,
Steven from Friends.
I don't even
That was
remember him. That's funny.
that was your school, so I don't know who that was. Richard from Springer, who I remember because I almost got into a fist fight with him. Backstreet Boys and the Spice Girls were our enemies back then. And apparently, like now, Sean's being a lawyer. We were going to have an X-Monks lawyer and agent division. Our X-Wear clothing line, which we made shirts. Uh, the X-Monks cruise line at the bottom. I love this. I will never get rid of this.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we love you. Stay tuned for our next episode where we talk about other random shit.
Yes. We got a minute and a half left. Should we just
Let's
stop it
just
now? All right. Let me click off.
love you, ladies and gentlemen.